Sure.
Okay, we're live on both platforms, it seems.
You are live, sir.
Is it working? Is the audio working? Yep, it's working. All right. How we doing, everyone? Okay, let's give everybody a few minutes to hop on. I know we started a little bit late, but I was working on this new dual way to do everything. Key frame rate is too low. Oh, figure that out later. Okay. Okay, I know that side is good. I just need to worry about this side. For some reason, I cannot see. Let's try that. Okay. Alrighty, live dashboard. Okay. Alrighty. I'm gonna run with this in a minute. Right now, I'm actually running it on YouTube as well as Facebook at the same time. So, yeah. And I'm wireless, which is not ideal for this, but it was the only way to get one camera to work on both browsers at the same time. But I think we're going to be okay. I think we're good. So, Jess will keep an eye on the media thread on the bottom because I'm using my computer and for some reason I can't see what is happening here. It's not allowing me to. We got it partly worked out. I guess that's okay. Oh, okay. I see a little bit of me now. Let's see if we can do that. No, it doesn't let me do that. Okay. Yeah, I see the comment popped up. Okay, I have the little box there. Alrighty, it's as good as it's gonna get. All right. Good evening, everyone. Okay. I promised you guys the other day I would have a show for you, and boy, do I have a show for you. I woke up at 7 o'clock in the morning today, and I started planning for tonight's show because I wanted to be very informative, very interesting. So, let us begin with our housekeeping, shall we? Okay. Where are you? There you go. Come on. Come on, girl. All right. So, let's jump into it today because we have a lot on. Wearing a hood sweater because I actually have a fan blowing on the back of my CPU on my laptop so that it doesn't overheat. It's an older computer, and you got to make do with what you got for now. That's how it is. Any case, so time for our housekeeping. This broadcast is provided for educational and informational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice. Viewers are encouraged to independently verify all laws, regulations, policies, and guidance applicable to their jurisdiction and employment status, and to consult qualified legal counsel where appropriate. This program discusses lawful compliance, public policy, and accountability under federal law. Nothing in this section, or session, I should say, encourages or condones the violation of USPS policy, federal regulations, state law, workplace rules, or lawful instructions. This broadcast includes discussion of whistleblower protections, including but not limited to the Whistleblower Protection Act of 1989, the Whistleblower Protection Enhancement Act, and related federal safeguards protecting individuals from retaliation for lawful disclosures of fraud, waste, and abuse of authority or violations of law. Sound familiar, right? I know. Let's keep going because there's more. This program also references Executive Order 14173, 2025, ending illegal discrimination and restoring merit-based opportunity, which affirms the principle that employment actions must be based on merit and lawful criteria, free from discrimination or retaliatory practices. Yeah, try telling the overlords that in DC. Okay, let's keep going, shall we? Viewers are further reminded that Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and related federal statutes prohibit discrimination or retaliation in employment. Any discussion of workplace conduct is framed strictly within these lawful protections and prohibitions. This session may include live citations, documents, policies, and publicly available sources as they exist at the time of this recording. Availability, formatting, or accessibility of online materials may change after the broadcast. References are provided in good faith or public interest for education, transparency, and documentation. Use of the information presented in this program is limited to purposes of transparency, education, and documentation of lawful activities. No individual, organization, or agency is granted permission to use the host's words, analysis, or content from this program as a basis for retaliation, intimidation, coercion, or the furtherance of violations of federal or state law. Any such use is expressly disclaimed and opposed. Opinions expressed are those of the host and are based on publicly available information, documented experiences, and contemporaneous sources. References to organizations or agencies are made solely for public interest, discussion, and accountability, not defamation. This program does not encourage harassment, disruption of public services, unlawful recording, or improper conduct of any kind. Viewer discretion is advised. Good evening, everyone. My name is Angel, and I am the host of the Postal Truth. I am a manager of customer service in Miami West Carrier Annex in Miami, Florida, who is currently on medical leave due to systemic retaliation and other abuses within the United States Postal Service. And my cases are ongoing at this time. I want to apologize for the extra long disclaimer today, but due to the nature of the topic of discussion, we needed to take extra precautions just to make sure that the overlords in DC don't try anything funny, basically. We want the word to get out, and we want to give you, the people of the United States, control over your public post office or alleged public post office. Okay? It's not really public anymore. We went over that ad nauseum, but we're not going to go into that today. Okay? So, with that being said, we're going to stay legal. We're not going to get jammed up, and we're going to give you detailed instructions on how to stay within the rules and the policies while recording in public or postal facilities. Okay? The reason why we're doing this is very simple. And before I begin the whole deal, we have to understand that the situation we're dealing with right now with the mail is at an all-time low. You know, we have managers, supervisors, OICs, and other individuals that don't know the policy, but they make pretend they do. And they enforce what is called commentary house policy. I feel I don't have to do this. I feel you don't deserve pay. I feel. Well, you can wipe your ass with that because it's not worth a lick of nothing. Okay? And if you don't know your job, maybe you should step down and find a job that works for you. I hear McDonald's is hiring right now. There you go. Okay? So with that being said, the fact that I'm 43 years old and I know all this stuff is for the simple fact that I gave a crap about my job and I wanted to do the right thing. but because we have individuals in authority that don't deserve to be in authority, this is why we're in this situation, okay? Which is the whole premise of the Executive Order 14173, I believe it was, the merit-based opportunity. Yeah, 14173, okay? The reason why President Trump enacted that executive order is for this exact reason right here. Because people get promoted that don't deserve to be promoted just because they scratch somebody's ass at the job, and you obviously have more qualifications than them, but they scratch somebody's balls, they scratch somebody's ass, and next thing you know, they got promoted and they're your supervisor and you know more than them. It happens every day. There's not a thing you could do about it. All you can do is arm yourself. So when I started the Postal Truth, I told you I wanted to move away from the off-tangent, annoying, frustrated broadcast, and I wanted to give you guys the tools to defend yourself. So this information is for the entire nation. It is not just for postal workers. It is for normal people too. So I hope we have normal viewers on here. And if you are on here and you know someone could benefit from this, please share this link with them so we can get this information out. I am giving you the tools you need to take back what was taken from you, and that was choice. Your rights were taken away from you with your mail. Your ability to find out information about your mail, your services, your bills, your things that you relied on the Postal Service for years and years and years and years, 250 years, okay, is now at jeopardy. We have already seen Denmark pull their postal service. They pulled their mail service. We are next if we are not careful. There is still a chance to turn this around, people, and I need your help to do it. So today, I got a detailed list here that's going to go down ham on you guys. Hey, Dorothy, I got a detailed list here, and this list, I'm going to share it with you all, okay? We're going to go over it, and then later on today or tomorrow, I'll copy and paste everything here in a little document or something and put it on the website so you guys can go on the Postal Truth website and review it there if you need to. I'm going to be pulling away from putting things on Facebook, putting things on YouTube. I'm going to start putting things in the Postal Truth website because that's what it was created for. Centralization. We want to streamline the process. So how do you streamline the process? By doing what we're doing right now. We're taking this to a new level. No more nice guy. The gloves are coming off. I am now going to starting today, giving you guys how-to videos. We're not going to go over the long-winded speech. This is just letting you guys know what I'm going to be doing. And we're going to start diving into how to use the policy effectively and why you need to use the policy effectively. Okay? I want to apologize to the nation. Even though I don't work everywhere, I just work in Florida, I still want to apologize to the nation. I am sorry that the Postal Service has failed in their commitment to provide the mail to you timely, accurately, every day, rain, sleet, or snow, as we've promised for 250 years. And we've moved more towards a money business than an actual consumer-based business where we care about the individual. Now, this is not me speaking for the organization. I don't speak for the organization. I'm speaking for myself as a postal worker. I'm sorry that I did not have the authority or the ability to stop the things that are happening. If I did, you know damn well I would have, because this is deplorable. The decisions that have been made up top have trickled down and has affected operations across the nation. And everyone is feeling the pinch from this, including postal workers themselves. They're not even getting their own damn mail anymore. What does that tell you? Ladies and gentlemen, this is your time. Get a paper and a pen. If you need or you can't right now for whatever reason, it will be on the website. I'm going to try to get it done tomorrow. Every time I have to update the website, I have to recode everything. So it takes a few hours sometimes to do. I will get it up. You will have this information. You deserve to know the truth. And today I'm going to give it to you. Whatever I don't present physically on video, it will be on the website for you to either download it or access to the right places so you can download the information yourself. Okay, I think I'm going to do that. I'll give the direct links and you go get it yourself. Okay, guys? Without further ado, let's begin. Okay. I'm going to split into 2 lanes today because it's a lot of information. Okay? Public customers. For example, I walk into a post office, employees are on the clock, inside operations management interactions. Then I'll close with what has been talked about recently called the sterile cycle process. This has been talked about before. I've never talked about it on here in detail. I'm going to be talking about it in detail today. Okay? How to record and preserve evidence cleanly, safely, and credibly. The rule map, okay, is very important. It's a foundation. The Postal Service has this stuff publicly posted. Now, at the time of this recording, at today, the 18th of January, 2026, at 8:19 p.m. Okay, this was checked this morning, circa 8-9 in the morning ish. If I don't remember exactly what time. The hours kind of merge in with me. But what we want to talk about is poster number 7. It contains the U.S. Postal Service's conduct rules and specific section titled photographs for news, advertising, or commercial purposes. It says, in substance, news purpose photos may be taken in entrances, lobbies, foyers, corridors, auditoriums when used for public meetings, unless prohibited by official signs, security force, authorized personnel, or federal court order ruling. Other photographs may be taken only with the permission of the local postmaster or installation head. That distinction, news versus other, is the core USPS property rule. You can read directly. Now, here's the thing. Cornell University of Law, New York, they cite 41 CFR 102-74.420, the General Federal Building Photography Policy. The Postal Service is part of the federal government. At least they want to be, or they are, but they're not. So they try to use technicalities to get out of trouble. Okay. Well, this pertains to them. This federal rule broadly states photography on federal property depends on purposes and area, and often requires permission for tenant agency space, non-commercial, and written permission for commercial use. News purposes get special treatment for certain common areas. USPS rights and permissions, plus the postal bulletin guidance, are practical USPS instructions. USPS has an official rights and permissions pathway that states that filming on USPS premises can require a local agreement. A postal bulletin explainer also gets very specific that even when photography is allowed, you can't depict. Okay, so USPS employees, customers, security cameras. That's a no-brainer. Okay. Or if you're going to show anything with mail, you're supposed to cover the names and addresses because it's a PII issue. You don't want to put your own stuff online and get in trouble. Okay. This isn't my opinion. USPS literally tells you not to capture employees, customers, mail, the mail covers, security cameras, and views. So the Do It Right playbook for recording in a post office or public customer lane. 1, identify where you are standing. This decides everything. Okay. Public facing areas, okay, are generally the least risk. Okay. Entrance, lobby, foyer, corridor, areas that are open to customers. Non-public, restricted, high risk. Usually no, it's usually no without permission. Okay, and then we're gonna cover that in a second. Behind the counter, workroom floors, employee hallways and offices, docks, back rooms, any posted restricted area. Okay, Postal 7 also makes very clear restricted non-public areas can involve inspectors and stronger controls. Decide your purpose. So before we go into step 2, which is decide your purpose, news versus other, I'm gonna go back a little bit and talk about this. Okay, so a general rule for the Postal Service is as long as you're not interrupting the flow of customer service and business, they generally don't have an issue with it unless they have something to hide. If they have something to hide, they will make the biggest fucking scene ever. Okay? If they have nothing to hide, they let you take your pictures and you move on. Okay? What I recommend, and this is for the people in downtown Miami by Flagler Station and Buena Vista. I'll use those two stations as an example, as I worked in both of them. Buena Vista, as we talked about in the channel, sometimes the clerks call out and nobody opens the station. Well, if you can't get into the post office, you can record you trying to open the door and the post office is locked, because you're outside the building. Okay, you're not even in the building. If you walk into a post office and it looks like shit, there's garbage everywhere, it hasn't been mopped in days, the windows are filthy, the sills are dirty, everything is dirty, it smells weird, the garbage is overflowing, you can take pictures of that, okay? Because that's a public area. That's fine. That's the foyer, that's the lobby, okay? When they mean physical lobby, they mean where the cashiers are, where the registers are, and where the clerks are in the front. Don't go up there. Stay away from that part there. Stay on the opposite side of that and just record in the foyer area if you're gonna do that. That's fine. Okay. They wrote it right here. Okay. They tell you exactly what you can and cannot do. Now, if you're recording it for First Amendment, well, the First Amendment is news and media. So yeah, it's your First Amendment right to do it. So what you need to do is, again, record the foyer. If the mailboxes look like crap, don't record the box numbers. Just, say, look, the boxes are bad, and just do it like a panorama or something like that, where it's not going to cause you problems. Always make sure you know the law, because the postal employees, they will call the police on you for no reason. Honestly, I think that's a waste of time. It's very ridiculous. If someone wants to take pictures, you can't stop somebody from taking pictures. You're not a cop. Clerks, you are not cops. Don't. That's not your job. That's postal inspection and postal police. Okay? Postal inspection and postal police. Okay? So there you go. All right? So sorry about that. I don't know if you guys heard that. But anyway, yeah. Postal police, postal inspection. It is not their job. It's not your job to be calling cops. You call your supervisor and you let your supervisor deal with that, clerks. Call your supervisor. Carriers, call your supervisor. Unless your life is in immediate danger, don't call the cops. They can't do nothing for you. You're a federal employee. They're going to tell you that you got to report it to the Fed. So why waste your time? Okay? That's the postal inspection's job. That's postal police job. Okay? That's OIG. That has nothing to do with local law enforcement. Unless they pulled out a gun on you, that's a different story. But if they didn't pull a gun on you and they're just taking pictures and they're just being overzealous, let them take the damn pictures and just move on with your day. It's not going to do nothing to you. You understand? Same thing with managers. If you see that, don't be a hero. We don't get paid enough for that shit. Seriously. Just leave it alone, move on, and do what you got to do. Okay? That's just my opinion. You guys do what you want. You're still there. I'm halfway out the door anyway. I mean, I hope you would listen though. Okay. So let's scroll down here. Okay, we were up to step 2. So that was all step 1. Okay, step 1. Now we're on step 2, decide your purpose, news versus other. If you're claiming news purpose, you are filming to document a matter of public interest. We just talked about that, okay? Service issues, faculty conditions, public operations, not a commercial shoot, okay? That's news and media. You can do that. That's part of your First Amendment right to do those things. So guys, do it. Citizens of the United States of America, follow these rules and they can't do nothing to you. It's their policy. I am going to post the links on the website. Again, give me till tomorrow, the latest Monday. Well, excuse me, Tuesday, the latest, because today's Sunday. Tomorrow, the latest Tuesday. I'm going to try to do it tomorrow, though, okay? Remember what I said. Every time I update the HTML codes, I have to rewrite them. And it takes a little bit of time, all right? So if you don't see it right away, don't freak out. I didn't forget. It just takes a while, okay? But remember, you can do that. So take the control. Take it back in your own hands. Pick up your phone and take those pictures, because those lobbies are supposed to be clean. Those windows are supposed to look pristine. It is supposed to represent respect, dignity, integrity. And we got too many people now thinking about money and NPA and all this other nonsense instead of doing their jobs the right way. And this is why the Postal Service is failing, in my opinion. It is failing. And it's going to keep failing. There's no proper training. There's no accountability for the people breaking the policy and breaking federal law. Nobody's getting fired that should be getting fired. And this is what I mean. And people that don't deserve to get fired are being pushed out because they know too much. You see what I'm saying? And this is what I mean, guys. You need to take back the control. Citizens of the United States, take back your control. Use what I'm teaching you now and do it. Post it on your social media platforms. Post it on the YouTubes. Post it everywhere. So they get discouraged enough to actually fix it. Because if you guys don't do it, they're not gonna fix nothing. They will not fix it. Okay? We want them to fix it. They have to fix this. You can't just leave it like this. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy. Like, my package actually fit in my box, and they just scanned it, delivered it in that box, and put it on top of the box and left it there all day. It was there outside, what, 10 hours? Anybody could have walked by and stole it. Why is this happening? Anyway, okay, if it's other, personal content, documentary, student film, monetized YouTube, anything that looks commercial, you are far more likely to be pushed into permission agreement required territory versus USPS explicitly explicitity routes, pro grade and documentary student filming, etc., with rights and permissions of coordination. Okay, keep that in mind. Okay, so anything that involves you making money, I'm gonna post this on YouTube. I got a social media account and I'm posting on social, but I'm making money off of it. That's commercial. You can't do that. If you're gonna post them on your socials, it has to be free. You can't charge money for it. You understand? Because that's when you get into trouble. But if it's free and it's non-monetary, it's news. And when you post it, you say, this is news that I'm reporting concerning my local post office. Then it's media, and per the First Amendment, you're good. Because their own policy says it. So what, they're going to turn around and change the policy like they did with the ballot thing now? With the whole indicia now? You can't go to the local post office and get a stamp no more. You got to mail it in. Yes, they're technically right, but they're technically wrong because they didn't give anybody time to appeal or state their case on how it would affect them. They just did it anyway. And this is what I mean. They're just throwing out policies willy-nilly, and they're not. It's very, very systemic right now. And I've said this till I've turned purple. Okay? Guys, please. Okay, practical truth. If you're monetized or obviously producing a show, USPS may treat it as non-news commercial, even if you call it news. So your safest posture is get permission when you can and never film what USPS tells you not to film. So again, you still have to respect the postmaster or the manager or the supervisor. All right. If they say, hey, you can't record here, then this is where you'll say, okay, well, your policy says I can record as long as it's media. I'm not monetizing this information. It is free for the general public. Free. You can do that. You understand? It's different than doing a YouTube thing where you're explaining the video, the how-to. Like what we're doing right now, we're explaining the how-to. That's totally separate than charging, and you get what I'm saying. We're not gonna go too far off tangent with that. You guys got this. Okay. Absolute no's that keep you out of trouble. Okay. These are the don't cross these lines rules that get people removed or cited real fast. Okay. Do not film mail covers, names, addresses that explicitly flag as prohibited depiction of USPS guidance. In USPS guidance, okay? Do not film customers' faces, privacy harassment issues, plus USPS's guidance on flagging customers. Do not film employees, again, explicitly flagged. Do not aim at security cameras or security screening setups, okay? Now, there's more, but I'm going to stop right there for a minute. Well, let me finish it out and then we'll go back to it. Do not block lanes. We talked about that. Don't block the doors. Don't block the counters. Walkways. Poster 7 prohibits conduct that obstructs entrances, corridors, or disturbs operations. We did talk about that. As long as you're not disturbing operations, they normally just leave you alone, say whatever. Especially the clerks that they don't want to deal with the drama. They just want the line to move so they can go in their breaks and their lunches. Don't give these people a hard time. Just get what you need, see what's visible, tell people about it so that it can get fixed, and then everyone's happy. You know what I mean? Just my recommendation. Okay? Do not argue your way into non-public areas. Stay where any normal customer is allowed. So, here's a way to beat this. Very easy. Buy some stamps. Buy an envelope with a stamp on it. Put a letter in the mailbox. You're a customer now. So as a paying customer, you have a right to document something that's not right and file it with the appropriate organization or customer service line. Why does this post office look like shit? Here's the picture. What are you going to do about it? I just spent money here. The Postal Service doesn't care if you spend 75 cents or $1,000. They're going to treat every case the same because they have to. It's policy. So if you go in there and you drop a letter off, write a letter to yourself. Write a letter to yourself. As soon as they open their mouth, oh, you can't do this. Hold on. I'm not blocked. Poster 7 says I can record. I'm not blocking anybody. This is not monetized. This is news. And part of the First Amendment, I have a right to press. And I am also a customer. Bloop. And I'm documenting this as a customer so I can report it to your superiors. Don't record them cursing at you. Some of them get real rah-rah. Ignore them. Don't even waste your breath. Get what you need. Report it. Report it. Document, report. Document, report. Document, report. That's the way we win this battle. Sooner or later, the customer service lines will get so pissed off because they keep getting complaints with pictures that their lobbies look like crap. The clerks are not wearing proper uniforms the way they're supposed to. Their managers look like they just rolled out of bed 5 minutes ago. They're not even dressed properly, okay? And people are just nasty, stink, and disgusting. It's not supposed to be like that. Document, document, document. So there's that. Any questions here? Any Facebook chat? Okay, no, just comments from Jesse. Okay, sounds good. Okay, so we're gonna keep going. Okay, guys, how to film clean. What to do instead. Very important. If your goal is to document conditions without capturing prohibited objects, point the camera down and wide. Your feet, the floor, you see the signage below, you see everything there, the machines are serving, you know, don't record any signs. You fill your own narrative outside the building first. Keep interior clips short and neutral. I would not say anything in the post office unless you absolutely have to. At that point, then I would say, okay, hold on a second, I apologize. There we go. If I was you, I would just say, okay, that's what it is, and okay, fine. We have to talk about this because I just spent $20 to send this package to somebody, and there's garbage overflowing. It is the manager's responsibility to make sure that that local post office is clean. Supervisor, manager, OIC, postmaster. It is their job. Make them do their job. How do you make them do their job? You document. Simple. Nothing. It's not rocket science here. It's what we do. We document, we log, we report. That's it. Easy. Easy peasy. Okay. Use redaction discipline. Okay. So if a frame accidentally captures an address, label, or face, don't post it or blur it before publishing. That's common sense. Blur everything. I blur everything all the time, especially the letters that they were leaving on top of my mailbox for days and days and days and days and fucking days. And the carrier would deliver mail, and when I take the damn first class mail back with her, she'd leave it there. They're still doing it, by the way. So yeah, headquarters, if you're seeing this, your carriers are fucking horrible. Fix it. Because you know what? People are going to watch this now. The nation knows what they can and cannot do, and they're going to start reporting you. Maybe then you'll get your butts in gear and get it fixed. But, you know, I digress. That's totally up to you. I'm on the way out anyway. Okay. What to say if challenged? Okay, so you get a clerk, which you shouldn't get a clerk. You get a supervisor or security says stop recording. You say calmly, no problem. I'm not trying to disrupt operations. Can you show me the posted rule or the specific instructions for this facility? I will comply with lawful instructions. I just want clarity, so I stay within policy, or I stay within policy. Very simple. You ask them for the policy. We don't have to give you that. No, you do. Poster 7. Where is it? Oh, I've never heard of Poster 7. Oh, maybe you shouldn't be a supervisor. Or if you don't know, maybe take 5 minutes and go look at what it is and then come back. It happens. I mean, not everybody knows everything, right? But this is what I'm saying. When you get arrogant people that come at you sideways, you got to be ready. Okay. So yeah, ask them for the policy. Okay. Why this helps? Poster 7. I just said it too. Poster 7 requires compliance with official signs and authorized directions. You're showing compliance posture while creating a verbal record. So now you're recording yourself telling this person, okay, I'm going to stop recording. Where's Poster 7? Oh, I don't know what Poster 7. I've never heard of that. There's no such thing. I think you better take 5 minutes and go look because it's in postal policy. Okay, where's the local ordinance then? And that's how you know they're hiding stuff or not hiding stuff, and you get an idea, you know. I got a video from, I think it was Dorothy. Was it Dorothy? I think it was Dorothy. About a supervisor calling the cops and everything. Was it Dorothy? Yeah, it was Dorothy. Okay, so before we move on, I'm going to talk about that because I looked at that video and I just shook my head. First of all, you don't call local enforcement to enforce a federal policy. You're supposed to call the postal police. Duh. You're supposed to call postal inspection. Duh. You're supposed to call the OIG, if anything. And they're last because they really have nothing to do with that. It's postal police and postal inspection. Duh. But this is what I'm saying. You got managers and supervisors that don't know what the hell they're doing. They're so nasty and riled up. For what? People are not bothering nobody. They're not in the business area. They're not harassing nobody. They're not recording faces. They're not doing any of that nonsense. They're following Poster 7, and you call the police on them. You know, if that person wanted to, they probably can get a lawsuit on you. You defamated their character. Something to think about. Guys, don't take my word for it. Speak to a lawyer if it ever happens to you. You know, I'm not an attorney, but I would assume that's defamation of a character. They call the cops on you for no reason. So now you can sue them. And again, that's my opinion. Look into it. I could be totally wrong, okay? Always fact check. That's why I told you guys in the beginning. Fact check everything. Don't, you know, every state is different. Look into the rules of your state. Then you'll go from there, okay? The employee lane, recording at work without getting disciplined. This is where people get hurt the most because something can be lawfully outside of work, but still violate workplace rules and become failure to follow conduct, this blah, blah. Okay, and the reason why I'm bringing this up, USPS can still discipline employees for violating instructions, disrupting operations, or violating privacy security expectations. Now, here's the thing. These are the same people violating privacy and security issues every day. My own boss freaking violated cybersecurity policy by mailing my time card to me without security, hashtag sensitive hashtag. It's outside the postal network. It's a violation of cybersecurity code. I think it's AS21 if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. It's been a while. Okay. But no, I didn't do nothing wrong. And this is what I mean. They break the rules all the time, but when they want to get you in trouble and sting you, oh, no, now they're angels and they follow policy. So you see how it's a double standard? And, you know, don't do this, don't do as I say, do as I do. The commentary stuff. And this is what I mean, guys. Okay? Your state audio law matters. Okay. I'm going to talk about Florida for a minute because I'm here in Florida. Okay? Florida is generally a two-party consent for recording private conversations. If you secretly record a private conversation, you can create criminal exposure. I'm not giving legal advice, but you should tell your audience to check their state law. Okay? People you're speaking to, your audience now. I'm not talking about me now. I'm talking about you guys. So whoever you share this with, tell them to check with their state law. Okay? And then talk to an attorney if they need to. Okay? So I know it sounded like, oh, me reading to myself, but no, I'm actually, the sentence was correct. This is me conveying to you guys. If, for example, I'm going to tell my wife, I'm going to tell Jessie the policy, right? Well, Jessie's an audience now because I'm sharing this information with her. So now she becomes an audience. You get where I'm leaning into? So just remember that. The safest employee proof is approach. Okay, if you're an employee and you need a record, your lowest risk options. Okay, so this is for the postal workers. Okay, written follow-ups, email, text immediately after events. Per our conversation, okay, you're gonna say at 2:15 per our conversation, you instructed X. I am complying. Please confirm. Simple. Document. Okay? Very easy. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Jesse just passed a comment by Dorothy. Yeah, and I see it now here because I'm looking at the camera, not at the screen. I apologize, Dorothy. Yes, it would be interesting to know with the suits. I wouldn't gather they get a lot because, you know, you got to go through tort claims and it's just a headache. But you know what? Sometimes you got to just bite the bullet and just do it. Just to set an example that these guys cut the crap. You know what I mean? I just shake my head. Anyway, union reps, stewards are present. Okay, always got a steward. Okay, if you cannot get a steward, look into CREA or find out. You could ask straight away, hey, will this consultation or investigative interview result in discipline? They have to answer yes or no. It's policy. They cannot trick you into going. They do try that though, so be careful. Okay? Some managers are very dishonest. They got these jobs and they just want to hurt people. They're just angry at their lives. They hate their lives and they want to take it out on everybody. Okay, guys? So just make sure you have documents. You want to request permission in writing. Okay? Very, very, very important. Always request permission in writing. Always. So I'm scrolling through the chat real quick. I apologize, guys. Okay. Hey, Mom. Okay. So use official channels, written statements, PS forms where applicable, grievances, EEO, OIG, OSHA submissions, certified mail copies. They won't sign for them, but it doesn't matter. As long as you have a barcode on it, they scan it, the manager's supposed to sign it. Whoever signs for it, that's between the manager and that person. It's got nothing to do with you. Okay? Use official channels, written statements. Yeah, we read that already. Okay, recording meetings as an employee. The permission first method. If you want to record a meeting with management, ask before it starts for accuracy. I am recording for audio record this meeting. Are you consenting? If they say no, you say understood. Then I'm requesting a union representative witness, and I will take notes. And you don't even have to tell them you're taking notes. You just take notes. They can't stop you from taking notes. You just take the damn notes. Take them. I did. They're not going to tell me no. Good luck with that. But I was looking down and I was so scared. Yeah, I was writing. Nice try, brother. Okay. Anyway. Okay. After the meeting, immediately send a recap email. They hate when you do that, but do it anyway. Okay. This keeps you out of the secret recording trap and still builds a clean evidentiary trail. You also document in your email that the opposing side refused to be recorded on record, audio recorded on record, and you're making a notation of that in email. Doesn't hurt you. It adds extra security, another layer of security. Okay. What not to do as an employee. High discipline risks. Do not record on the workroom floor. Do not record PII labels, addresses, screens, dispatch paperwork. Do not record customers, employees, or any safety security setup. Don't record during confrontations where management can claim disruption. Don't ignore direct instructions. Postal 7 requires compliance with authorized directions on postal property. Now, does anybody have any questions regarding this information so far? I know we covered it a lot, but I feel it's very important to be very, very, very detailed as I can possibly be. If you have a question, I'll give you another second or so to answer, or ask, I should say. Okay, all right. Being there's no questions, we're going to keep going, all right? Now, we're going to talk about the sterile cycle process, okay? Now, this was talked about a few months ago, and And I'm going to add this to the Postal Truth website as well, just to kind of give you guys a go-to server, where you can get quick information. That's the whole thing about this. No one's giving me any money donations for the website. Nobody's giving me anything. I did it because I believe in transparency and structure and compliance. Okay. So the sterile cycle process, how to record and preserve evidence so it's usable. You're basically describing forensic grade evidence handling. Okay. We're talking about forensics now, like detail, like minute handling of the situation. Okay. Here is a clean sterile cycle process that we can go over together, and you take your notes. And again, if you miss it, the video will be up on Facebook for 30 days. You can catch it later. It's staying on YouTube. I'm never taking it down. It's running live right now on YouTube. Okay. It's not going anywhere, guys. Okay. It'll be there. So you'll get your chance. I am going to put it on the website too. Okay. Now, phase one, the plan. Before you guys hit record, okay, you have to define the purpose. Document conditions, document instruction, document timeline. You have to define the purpose, because if you don't define the purpose, management can later on twist it on you and say you were violating postal policy and you were being insubordination and you were insubordinate and we are removing you for failure to comply and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Or I'm charging you with willful delay of mail. Yeah, okay. Decide the safe format. Okay. Now, you video in public areas. Obviously, we went over this earlier. No faces, no mail, and no employees, okay? Audio only, and only if lawful. Consented, especially in the two-party states like Florida, okay? Always make sure you have permission. Now, if local law enforcement shows up, they have body cams. They're doing your job for you. Just put in a FOIA request and get the video. I believe Lino did that. He can walk you through that process if you need to. Okay. Confirm you can comply instantly if told to stop. Always confirm you are complying. I am complying with your directive. I am not being insubordinate. Boop. Mark the date and time you told this person that. Okay. Phase two. Capture. How to record without contaminating your evidence, your video. Start with the verbal slate. Date, time, location, and purpose. Keep it short, steady, non-confrontational. Never narrate threats, just facts. Don't threaten anyone. Facts. Okay. I'm standing in the public library. I'm not recording customers or mail covers. You're telling them exactly what you're doing. Now, if they lie later, and management is known for lying, I'm not going to say they're not. They did it to me. Okay? It happens. You just do what you got to do. You're not accusing anyone directly. The truth is coming out, but you're not accusing anyone. You understand? So you can't get in trouble. Follow the policy. Don't fight with nobody. Don't tell your manager to screw themselves or whatever on postal property. Don't do it. Okay? Keep a very, very linear approach to the sterile cycle. Okay? Now, phase three, preserve. Make the original untouchable. This is where most people ruin evidence. The file you record is the master. Immediately, airplane mode, save, export the master to a protected folder. Make 2 backups, 1 cloud private, one physical USB external drive. Do not edit the master ever. Don't change anything. Once you guys record it, you cannot edit the video. It has to stay the same. If you make any changes to it, to the original, you contaminated the evidence and it's no good anymore. You can't use it. Okay? Do not change anything on the video. Okay, that's done. Phase 4, document the chain of custody notes. You create a simple log entry. Notes, app is fine, but ideally a dated PDF email to yourself is always the best way to do it because it stays on a server. You could also upload a PDF to Telegram to someone you trust, your partner, your best friend, someone you know that's going to protect that file for you and not tamper with it. Because if you need to submit it as evidence, you can retrieve it back from them and you can do what you need to do. Okay? Everybody's situation is different, so make sure you apply what applies to you, to your unique situation. It's not a universal system, so again, this is why we're going over everything. Okay? File name, device used, start, stop time, where you were standing, what you were intentionally avoid filming, okay, faces, labels, etc. Who asked you to stop if applicable, what you did, okay, and basically go from there. Okay. 5, redact, create a public copy. Duplicate the master into a working copy. You're going to blur the faces, the address labels, the employee names and badges. If their faces are on camera, blur the faces because you're not supposed to record them. Okay. Screens and barcodes, all that stuff. Security cameras, you got to blur all that stuff out before you upload it because otherwise you're contaminated. It's no good no more. It's garbage. You might as well just hit the delete button. You're wasting your time. Okay. 6, you're going to publish the clean release protocol. So if you're putting it on YouTube, use only the redacted clips. Keep the narrative about policy, law, public accountability. Avoid accusations stated as fact unless you can prove them. Label as allegation and show documentation. So again, your manager marked you LWAP for the day. Well, you know you can prove that because you can go in your virtual time card and you can wait till you get your pay stub and it tells you LWAP. You take a screenshot, you make a recording, you say this person here marked me LWAP when I was entitled to administrative pay. Here's the proof, and then the next slide would be your proof for the Stericycle process. Okay. So, number 7, repeat the cycle. Every new incident, you're going to capture, preserve, log, redact, publish, or submit it to agencies. That's the sterile cycle. Clean capture, clean storage, clean release. Okay. You can end something, okay, with your sterile cycle. Okay, you'll say Postal 7 gives the baseline news, photos in certain public areas, and everything else needs permission. And USPS guidance warns you not to capture employees, customers, mail covers, or security cameras. Your rights don't include disrupting operations. Your rights don't include recording private conversations illegally, and your case gets stronger when your evidence is sterile, organized, and respectful. We are here to enforce the law, not break it. Guys, I know we covered a lot today in the hour, but as I promised, I was going to give you guys a instructional episode today, a detailed, diplomatic, instructional video to make up for last Thursday. And I believe I have lived up to that promise. And it was an honor to do that for you all. I believe that if we all work together, we can fix the issues in the United States Postal Service. I believe that if everybody does their part, including general citizens, we can force Congress to act, but they're not going to act if they don't get enough data. We need to give them the data. We need to prove they're not doing their jobs right. So that way, headquarters can finally step in and fix the problems across the nation. So, with that being said, that is the end of my presentation for today. I'm going to go check comment section. Yep. Yes, Dorothy, keep your emotions in check. I agree. Facts, no fiction. Yes, Jessica, I agree. Yes, Gloria, I agree. Very important. This even goes for you too, Mom. Believe it or not, that's for you too. I know you came in late, but you can catch the beginning later or get with Jessica. Yeah, it applies to you too. It applies to everyone across the nation. Okay, guys. I don't see any other questions there. I don't see anything else. Just a couple comments. Yes, you're welcome. It's my pleasure. My pleasure. We need everyone to kind of just do their part. We need normal people to step up and help us. We need those that document this stuff, like me and many others that go on Spotify and YouTube and TikTok and Facebook and they document this stuff. We need the same thing from them too. We need you guys to help us with this because it's a lot. There are only 650,000, if that, postal employees. 500,000 are normal everyday Joes like you and I. So, I mean, and not everyone works the beat. Not everyone works in the street. So we need citizens across the nation to take what I taught today and use it. You got people breaking into your mailboxes, like in California. I heard about that too. Document it. Call the news media. If you're afraid to do it, let the news do it. They do that for a living. That's their job. But tell someone, you know what I mean? If you feel like you can do this without having an issue, do it. And again, remember, I'm not an attorney. And as I said in the beginning of this broadcast, you need to check with a lawyer, okay? If you have an issue, check with an attorney. But just know that if they ain't got the damn posters up like they're supposed to, that's their problem, not yours. They should know the policy. They're the ones that wrote it. This is what I'm saying. They write their own policies and they don't even know half of them. So, guys, keep that in mind. Yes. Okay, Dorothy, no problem. We're going to cut it off anyway, guys. Anyway, that was your Postal Truth for this evening. My name again is Angel, and I'm a manager of customer service in Miami West Carrier Annex until I retire. Hopefully in May, I'll be retiring, God willing. Maybe before that. I'm looking to retire before that and finally have it done with. I've been on administrative leave 8 months now. Administrative medical leave. I'm on medical leave for 8 months. And I've been systemically targeted, and my rights have been violated by local management and local HR and the district as well. But in any case, I'm hoping that these MSPB cases pan out, as well as the National Labor Relations Board. And I also spoke to the OIG, and I'm hoping to refile with them once all these cases are done. With that said, have a good night, have a great week, and we'll see you all on Thursday.